Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. In today's episode I am going to show you how to completely remove and replace the alternator from any AUDI A6 C7 out there with the engine 3.0 TDI. So right here I have this kind of vehicle on which the alternator is not providing any power to the battery. Suddenly the alternator stopped working. The owner told me that he smelled a very weird smell coming out from the engine, and after additional checks I found out that the alternator is burnt out, is not providing any power to the battery, is not charging more than 6 volts to the battery, and because of that this is meaning that the alternator is completely dead. It has to be replaced or repaired by a specialist, and in my case, for example, I decided to replace it with a second-hand one which the owner bought from a junkyard. And also right here on the screen it's telling me that the alternator is faulty, is not charging the battery anymore, and that we have a problem with the current which is going through the battery on this kind of vehicle. With all of these things being said, let's go ahead and start replacing the alternator from start to finish. So on this AUDI A6 C7, which is equipped with a 3.0 TDI engine, the replacement of the alternator, it can be very difficult from other engines. So there will be no space to remove the alternator unless you remove the front end of the vehicle completely. You'll have to remove the front bumper, the crash bar, the AC condenser, the radiators, the coolant from the system, and only then you'll have enough space to remove the alternator safely and secured from this kind of vehicle. Right here underneath, as you can see, there is no enough space to pull the alternator out or to wiggle it out from the vehicle. And probably if you force the things, if you are able to remove the pipe which is going out from the turbo to the intercooler, this pipe from the left side and some connectors, probably you will be able to remove it on this corner if you force the things just a little bit. In my case, I don't like to force the things. I don't like to create a mess right here on the vehicle. I always like to work like the manufacturer is telling you to work and how it's supposed to be done from the factory. As you can see, the front bumper is completely removed and placed away. The crash bar is completely removed. The intercooler is removed out from the vehicle. And right here I have the AC radiator, which is still connected to the vehicle, because if it is still connected, I'm not losing any freon from the installation, from the system. So I recommend all to don't remove or don't disconnect the pipes from the AC radiator, and in this way you will be good to go. Only lift it up from the radiator and pull it to the side. Right here, as you can see, the intercooler, it's only holding in with one bolt to the right and one plastic clip to the left, which you have to push down, and then it will tilt forward and you have to lift it up and pull it away from the vehicle. After that, you have to remove some plastic parts which are installed over the radiators and which are directionating the air into the radiators. And then in the last part, you have to go into the back of the radiator, you have to remove the connectors for the fans, and then you have to remove the drain plug bolt, which is helping you to drain all the coolant from the radiators. If you are able to, I recommend you to replace the coolant with all of this work which you did on the car. But if you're not able to, or if you think that the coolant is still good and in a very good condition, you can catch it with a bucket or something like that and then filter it and put it back into the vehicle. If you guys don't know how to remove the front bumper or how to remove all of these parts from start to finish, I will put right here in the description down below a few links with some videos of mine which I did in the past, where I showed you all how to do all of these things from start to finish, how to remove all of these parts from start to finish, and in this way it will make your job a little bit easier than normally it should be. Also, to remove the radiators, you have to remove the two plastic clips, one in the left and one in the right. You have to lift them up and then make sure that you disconnect all the hoses and all the connectors which are still attached to the radiators, and then pull it out. Alright everybody, so as you can see, everything from the front side of the vehicle which was getting into my way of removing the alternator, it's out. Now I have easier access to the alternator, to the entire separating belt kit, and to all the parts which I want to work right here on the front side of the vehicle. To remove the separating belt, you'll have to detension the tensioner, you'll have to hold it still, remove the belt, and then just start working and replacing the alternator. you'll have this bolt from right here and then this bolt from right here. And then after you remove them, you'll have two connectors in the back of the alternator, one plug and also one connector which is attached with a 30mm screw right here in the back of the alternator. Before you start working and removing the alternator, my recommendation is to go into the back of the vehicle, into the trunk. You'll have to disconnect the negative cable from the battery, and only then you can safely remove the alternator and start to disconnect all the parts which are attached to the back of the alternator. Okay everybody, so as you can see, the two cables from the back of the alternator are completely disconnected from the alternator, and right now I only have to pull it out and throw it away. I'm going to install the one which the owner brought to me from the junkyard, and let's hope that the problem is fixed. Let's hope that the alternator, which is a second-hand one, it's working properly, and in this way we will fix this problem on this kind of vehicle. So as you can see, this one from the left side is the alternator which the owner bought from the junkyard, which is a second-hand one. It's still in a very bad condition right here on the exterior, but from what I can see, the pulley, it's working perfectly fine, is not blocked or something like that. So let's go ahead and install it back over the vehicle. Alright everybody, so the second-hand alternator is installed back over the vehicle. Everything is installed and tightened to spec. And from this moment, the next thing which I'm going to do is to start the vehicle up with all the parts disconnected from the front end, because I want to see if the new alternator is providing enough power to the battery, if it's charging or if it's working properly or not. So the vehicle is started up, the vehicle is running. I have right here my multimeter. You have to put the cables, the positive cable to the plus and the negative cable to the chassis or to the minus, and then just wait and see how much voltage the new alternator is providing to the battery. And right here, as you can see, the second-hand alternator is providing power to the battery. I have 13.8 volts and it's rising. The vehicle is just started, so the voltage will be a little bit low in the first stage, but while the vehicle is running for a longer time, the voltage will rise and it will reach the maximum amount of voltage which can be put out by the alternator which I just installed into the vehicle. So this was the voltage right here in the front side of the vehicle. Right now I will go into the back of the vehicle, into the trunk, and check how much voltage I have to the battery with this second-hand alternator installed over the vehicle. Right here in the back of the vehicle, you have to go into the trunk and you have to connect the cables from the multimeter red to red and black to black, or minus to minus and plus to plus. And as you can see right here on the multimeter is telling me that I have 14.2 volts which are provided by the alternator which I just installed over the vehicle. So this is meaning that the new alternator is giving enough power to the battery. It's working properly, it's working how it's supposed to be working. So in my case the problem is fixed. I will go ahead, I will install all the parts back over the vehicle, I will put the coolant into the vehicle, and then the job will be done. From this moment, I'm not going to show you all how to install all the parts back, because I'm assuming that you already know, so let's finish this kind of job. Right here, everything is installed back over the vehicle, the job is done. Right here inside the vehicle, I have no more errors, I didn't have to use any diagnostic tool. As soon as I installed the alternator, all the errors disappeared from the dashboard. Everything is working how it's supposed to be working. So in my case, the problem is fixed. Those are all the things and all the steps which you'll have to do and follow if you want to replace the alternator or remove it from this kind of vehicle, from any Audi A6 C7 out there with the engine 3.0 TDI. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like the video and found it informative, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment and a like down below. See you next time.